Do you know what exactly the use of the Terraform provider? If not, in this video I will explain that thing in the layman terms so that you can understand what exactly the Terraform provider is. If you are on my channel for the first time, make sure you do subscribe this channel, and if you like this video, please hit the like button. Now, what exactly the Terraform provider is? So if we go with the official definition of that, so it says like provider allow Terraform to interact with cloud provider, SaaS provider, and other API. What exactly this means is, so let's suppose you need to connect to any of the cloud provider. So how you are going to connect? When I talk about the cloud provider, it could be any cloud provider. It could be Google, it could be Azure, it could be Alibaba, it could be AWS. So whenever you need to connect to any cloud provider with the from Terraform, or in technical term, if I'm going to say, whenever you need to run any of the API, or whenever you need to call any of the API, so how you are going to do that? So in Terraform there is a way. So in Terraform we have a provider. In the provider we can provide all those information like, okay, this Terraform is going to call this AWS account, or this Google Cloud, or this Azure. Every company work on different resources provided by different cloud, or even if we are using a single cloud provider like AWS, here we need to work on multiple regions. Now let's suppose there is a EC2 machine which I need to create in multiple regions. Every other configuration is same. Even if we need to do some changes, that's okay, but we need to create a machine in multiple regions. So what all options I have? The first option is a simple one where I can have multiple Terraform configuration files, and every file is going to be different for every region. But if I'm going with this, what will happen? It is going to be a time consuming task. Lot of configuration files are there, lot of versioning is there, so it is going to be a complex environment for me. Now I'm looking for a solution, and the solution is something where I can provide all those detail in a single file. Well, let's suppose I need to create a machine in North Virginia, so I need to use that provider alias so that I can create a machine in North Virginia. Or let's suppose if I need to create a machine in Mumbai location, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that Terraform provider for Mumbai location. So what it is going to do is it is going to create multiple machines for me in multiple regions. Now all those information I can mention it in a single file. That is the Terraform provider. I think you now clear a little bit about this, but I'm sure there are still so many questions in your mind. It is still not clear. So let's quickly jump into the demo so that you can understand this thing, like how we can provide multiple cloud provider information or multiple region information if we are using a single cloud vendor. How we can do all those things in a single configuration, in a single Terraform configuration file. So let's quickly go to the demo. Now here is the configuration file. If you look at the configuration file, the first part is the provider information. So provider is AWS. Now here we can provide any of the provider, cloud provider I mean to say. So it could be Azure, GCP, Google Cloud, anything I can provide here. So this is the way to provide the provider information. After that, what we need to do is we need to provide the region, and then we need to create a alias. And this alias is very important because this is something we need to mention it in our resource or while creating the resource. So if you see this provider information, this alias I have provided here, and this resource is for the S3 bucket. So what I'm exactly doing is I'm creating a S3 bucket, and I'm using multiple provider information here. So if you look at the provider information, this is for the first one, not Mumbai region. So if you see, this is the one, and the second one is NV region. This is the one, the alias is here. So what exactly it is going to do is it is going to create one bucket in the US East one, and the other bucket is the AP South one. There is one more thing, which is the profile here. Now how to configure the profile, that is I have already explained in a different video. I'm going to provide you the link so that you can go and watch that video, so that you can understand the different ways by which we can provide the AWS credentials. So here I am using a default profile. Now this profile information I can also change, or let me go to the read way. We can provide something like this as well. Let me come back here. We can provide something like this as well, where we can provide the access key here, secret key here, alias is this, and we can mention this alias while creating the resource. Now the next part we have is to go to the AWS console and see whether it is working or not. But before that, what I need to do is I need to create a profile. So let me go. So here I am. Okay, I need to log in first. So let me log into my AWS account. Now I logged into my AWS account and I'm in identity and access management. So here I'm going to create one user. Now the user is going to be Terraform, and I will go with the access and the programmatic key. Next. And if you are not sure like how to create a IAM user, or you need more information regarding that, I have already a video for which I will provide you the link in the description, so you can go and watch that video so that you can understand more about the IAM user and how to create and how to configure or how to install the AWS CLI on your local machine. So now here what I'm going to do is I'm going to select S3 full permission, because I'm going to create a resource for the S3, so I'm going with the S3. Now we are done. So here I will get the access key and the secret key. So let me configure this access and the secret key on my machine. So how to configure that? So for that, let me go to the terminal. So here I am in my terminal. AWS configure -- profile. Now here the profile name and I need to mention. So here is default. So whatever the profile name I'm going to mention it here, we need to mention it here as well. So let's suppose if I'm going to mention Terraform. Okay. Now here it is asking me for the access key. Now from where I will get the access key? From this AWS console. Let me copy this thing. The secret key, so I can provide it here. Now it is asking me for the default region name. That's okay. I'm not going to change that. I'm done. I have configured my user locally. Okay. Now this thing I need to give here. Likewise, you can create multiple provider if you want to create. Like let's suppose you want to create one more Terraform one. You can also do that, and there you can mention other access key and the user ID. So you can do that here as well. I'm not going to do that. Let me remove this thing and let me go to here. Here I'm going to use this profile name. Now I have updated the profile information here in my alias, in my provider. So provider, let me explain this thing one more time. So provider here, the first thing we need to mention for which provider we need to work. Now here we can provide any cloud information here. So here I am mentioning AWS. Then we need to provide the region. So the region here is AP South 1. The region here is US East 1. Then we need to provide the alias, which is very important, because while creating the resource we need to mention this alias name. Whatever the name we are going to give here, that is something I need to mention it while creating my resource. Now here if you see, I am creating two buckets. The first bucket I am creating in Mumbai region. So this is the one. See, I have used the alias aws.yaws. So here is aws.Mumbai region, whatever the name I have it here. So let's suppose if I'm going to change the name test, so I need to provide this test information here. The second one is exactly the same, but here the different thing is the region. So the region here is North Virginia US East 1. So this. Now let me create this thing. So let me change the bucket name as well. So my test bucket dash hello. Okay, now I'm good. Now let me save this configuration. Now the first part which I need to do is I need to go to my terminal. So let me open this one. I don't need debug console. I'm in multiple provider configuration. So the first thing which I need to do, I need to run Terraform init. Now what exactly it is going to do is it is going to initialize the provider plugin. We are done. Now the next thing is Terraform plan. Now let's wait for it to generate the Terraform plan. Now see, here it is telling me plan is to add 2 resources. Now let me quickly go to the top, and here AWS S3 my bucket. So AWS S3 my bucket will be created, and this bucket is going to be created where, okay, I think the region information is not, yeah, known after apply. That's okay. So let me create this thing. Let me go the Terraform apply minus auto minus approve. I'm sorry. Now it is creating a S3 bucket. So let me go to my S3. Let me click on the bucket. Now we have 11 buckets here. So the first bucket name is this. Let me copy this thing, and this is it for the Mumbai region. Let me search this thing here, Asia Pacific AP South 1. So it has created a bucket for me, and the bucket it has created in the AP South 1 Mumbai region. Likewise, let me check for this bucket, and this bucket is created in North Virginia. So US is 1 North Virginia. So it has created 2 buckets for me in different region. Likewise, you can use your provider information for any of the resource. Okay. Now let's suppose I need to create a EC2 machine. So I need to mention this resource here for the EC2. So like this, let me tell you, we are not going to create a machine right now, but just for the example, I'm showing it to you, AWS underscore instance, and here we can mention the profile, sorry, the provider information. Now here we can mention this. So what will happen, it is going to create an instance for me where in this region, Mumbai region. Likewise, I need to create one more. Now for this instance, let's suppose this is web-1 and this is web-2. Now here I can provide the different provider, AWS North Virginia. So the same thing, it is going to create 2 resources for me. One EC2 machine it is going to create in the Mumbai location, and the other EC2 machine it is going to create me in the North Virginia. So this is how we can provide the Terraform provider information in the resource section. Okay. Let me destroy this thing as well. And how to destroy this thing? For that, what you need to do is you need to run one command, that is Terraform destroy minus auto approve, so that it will not ask me for yes or no kind of thing. Terraform, okay, the spelling of destroy is not correct. So it is deleting the resource for me. Let me go to my AWS bucket. Here we have 11. So let me refresh this thing. It is showing 10. It is showing 9 buckets right now. Now if I'm going to search my bucket, I'm not able to get it because Terraform has destroyed that resource for me with the help of the Terraform destroy command. So here if we see, it has destroying this bucket and this bucket. I hope now you are clear how to give the provider information while creating a resource. So this is very helpful. Now if you have any question related to this, you can always mention it in the comment section. I am going to reply to those questions. If you are still not clear, go and watch this video a couple of times so that you can understand it better, how to provide the provider information while creating the AWS resource. Thank you.